Hi, it's Jim with Charcoal Crusaders again. Today we're going to talk about doing prime rib for two on the grill. Prime rib has always been historically kind of pricey. I don't know too many folks, including myself, that can afford to go out and buy a whole roast. But sometimes I want the taste of it, and my wife and I enjoy it off the grill. So let's talk about what you need to do this. You need prime rib, cutting board, a little bit of salt. This is some non-salt seasoning. I'll show you that again in a minute. A little pepper, onion powder, and thyme. Avocado oil, a little bowl to mix our stuff in, a food bag. This, you can buy these on Amazon, or I guess you get them at Walmart. It's a food stand and it's got the holes in it. That's kind of important for this recipe. I've got a couple of pairs of tongs, which we'll use outside. These, I don't know if we're going to need these or not, but these are, of course, meat holders. I don't think we'll need them, but it's always good to have them on hand. A sharp knife for cutting the prime rib. A smaller light knife for testing the prime rib, and I'll get back to that in a moment too. A fork, a covered dish, because when we pull it off the grill, it's going to be covered right away for about 20 minutes or so. It'll bring it up to the right temperature. And a temperature probe. Another thing you can buy at Walmart or Amazon. And so let's talk about temperatures, etc. for just a moment. I'm going to move over here for just a moment. In the olden days, of course, we used these meat thermometer. This was the thermometer used for detecting the temperature that's actually on the grill. And I still use that kind of frequently. And this is an electronic thermometer. It has two probes. Everything's digital and it's rechargeable. We're not going to be using any of this today because prime rib, when it's in a smaller piece, pretty much anything small, is a little bit more unpredictable. So for this recipe, we're going to do it the old-fashioned way. We're going to check it as we go. It's a little bit more fun that way too, I think. Anyway, so how do you do this? Not too difficult. We're going to take our seasonings. I got this little spoon here because, as I've said before, salt is something I don't like to use any more than what is necessary. So I actually measure. This thing will last my wife and I more than a year because we use it very sparingly. About that much salt. And about the same amount of all the rest of it. I do bring this up. I'm not brand specific with this. This happens to be Kirkland or Osco. Organic seasoning, non-salt. Tastes great. I like it. If you've got something you like more, by all means use it. But again, about the same amount of that in here. Not too much. Too much of a good thing is not a good thing. Put that there. Get a little pepper on here. Okay, all together, it comes up to about that much. That's all you're going to need for this. Now, we take our avocado oil. This is, well, I've never heard of the brand before, but I've used it, and it's good. You can use peanut oil, vegetable oil. I suppose you can use any oil that you prefer. I like the avocado oil. It gets a little bit more crust on the meat on the grill. So now we're going to do this. You don't need much. You just got to put that's plenty. Plenty, plenty, plenty. Okay, what are we going to do with that? Mix it around with our little spoon here a little bit. Get it all like that. Okay. Now, we're going to rub this on the meat. I want to get a good look at that. Kind of get it. Start with the fat on the top, which, by the way, we'll sear most of that off when we're cooking. You'll get everything that's got meat. And rub it in there good. Don't be afraid. It ain't going to hurt it. It's real nice. Okay. Oh, lovely. Okay. Now I'm going to rinse my hands or my gloves. This is a Ziploc. They make food bags. You can get those, but this is a brand new Ziploc. Works great. Get it in there. Make sure that you've got it good and closed. Okay, I've never left one in the refrigerator longer than about 15 hours. But if you wake up on a Saturday morning and say, hey, you know what, I want to do that. You get to the store, get your meat bought, do your thing here, and get in the refrigerator for at least 2 or 3 hours. It's going to be great. I'm going to put this in here. I'm going to let it sit overnight, and we're going to finish it off on the grill, of course, tomorrow. Okay, we're back. Come on over. We got the grill started here. This is about as much charcoal as you're going to need. And if we're looking up at the sky, it looks like we might be dodging some raindrops here, so we'll move with some alacrity. Let's go in and get the meat. And take a closer look. Beautiful, beautiful. Okay, let's take this thing outside and we're going to wait until the charcoal's ready and we'll go from there. This charcoal is just getting going right. It's not all the way there yet, and that's good. When it comes to prime rib and most roasts, you want a nice slow cook. Time is not the problem. You want to make sure that it cooks thoroughly all the way through. So I'm going to take off this starter iron, unplug it. Everything looking pretty good. Take this thing now, come on in closer. I'm going to put it all the way here. Make sure you show it, it's all the way to the back here. Okay, charcoal back here. We got this thing here. Now, with a roast, I would never braise ahead of time. But I'm going to do a little bit of braising on this because it's a smaller piece. So we're just going to let it sit there till that charcoal catches up with it. That's pretty good. A little bit on each side. We're going to come back and do this again in about 15 minutes. I'm just trying to get a little bit of a seal on here. Now, this is an important part here. When you put this on this rack, okay, note this is the bottom right there. We're going to put this the widest part towards the heat. I mean, those have been known to fall off. They usually don't. If it does, it's not the end of the world. Okay, we got our bottom vents open. We double checked. Vent all the way open on this. Now, this is kind of an important thing. You got your charcoal here. You got your food here. We're going to put the vent to the side. We don't need to be drawing that heat directly onto this thing. It's more about indirect heat. Okay, conventional time, temperature. If this grill holds at roughly 275 to 300, you pull it off at for medium rare at 115 degrees internal temperature of the meat, and you let it sit for 20 minutes. I like it a little bit more done than that. And because this is a smaller piece, we're going to have to check it a few times. We'll probe it. I suppose it sits at a pound and a half. That's about a pound and a half. You're probably looking at 45 minutes or so, but let's find out. In the meantime, I'm going to smoke a cigar. Okay, it's been on there for about 20 minutes. That fire charcoal should be getting kind of good right now. So we're going to sear it a little bit more, and just for fun, we're going to check the temperature. Oh yeah. Looking good. See, what we're doing is we're just kind of burning that fat off. We don't need any more fat that's necessary. We'll get a little bit on each side here. Okay, and let's check the temperature just for fun. Make sure everything's nice and clean. You want to stick that probe into the thickest part of the meat. So it's got to go about that far. Okay. It's telling me the inside temperature is about 69 degrees. It's a good start. We're not in a hurry with this. Remember that. We're not in a hurry. We're going to go another 20 minutes and we'll take a look at it. All right, it's been another 20 minutes. That meat has been on for 40 minutes. Let's see where we're at. Looking beautiful, looking beautiful. Let's check that temperature. Okay, we're at 125, which is right where we want to be to pull it off and hold it for about 20 minutes. So let's do so now. If you're not sure, you can cheat. You can always take a look. Should be about right. But you never know. Like I said, the small ones can be unpredictable. So let's just take a peek. That's right at about medium rare. Beautiful. Off it comes. Cover this thing up. Pull that off the grill, I guess. Put it right there. I'm going to close the grill up. think I remember saying in the last video how important the partially used charcoal is. That has not changed. Make sure everything's closed up. And we'll be back in 20 minutes. Okay, it's been 20 minutes. Our total cook time slash set time was 1 hour and 5 minutes. For a piece that size, I usually give myself about 1 hour and 15, hour and 20. That way, if you're planning to cook around that, like your potatoes, vegetables, etc., that gives you a little momentum. Remember, slower is better. Now, before we open that up, I have always said I'm not brand specific on most things, but as I've said before, the two things that I do stand specific for and I'm not getting compensated for, if that changes, we'll let you know, but that would be Kingsford. I only use Kingsford charcoal, and I only use a Weber. Best combination ever. Highly predictable, lasts forever, wonderful. Okay, so let's take a look at what we got in here. This will put off a little bit of juice. If you wanted to get a little bit of beef broth and a little bit of flour and throw in that, whisk it around a little bit. You can make gravy. We'll call that au jus. Gravy's a little bit different, but nonetheless, let's take a look at what we got. Okay. Looking good. Normally I would cut it this way, but for the sake of showing it on the video, we're going to cut it straight down the center so we get a really good idea of what we're looking at. That's just a little bit more than medium rare, which to us is perfect. And of course, the bone is in, so you eat right off the bone. So that's what we got. That's how it's working. You want some?
Of course.
Okay. So have some. Next time, I think we're going to do something a little bit different. I'm going to do a little bit of guacamole, and then I'm going to do some sides on the grill that will go with the Mexican meal. I don't know what that's going to be yet, but we'll figure it out. Till then, enjoy. Cut it.
Perfect.
Till the next time.